Welcome back to Toledo Clinic TV. Nancy Flaherty, a registered dietitian, is my guest, and we're here to talk about food, which everyone loves, but can cause big problems if you're not making the correct decisions when you're eating your food. Labels are particularly hard for many people to read. And as a dietitian, I'm sure you spend a lot of time teaching people how to decipher and decode what's on a label.
Right.
What are the most simple things you can tell us?
Well, when you're looking at a label, it's, I think it gets confusing. They've got percentages on one side, they've got grams on the other, and all of a sudden you're looking at it thinking, what does all this mean? One of the first things to do is look at the serving size. You can look at a granola bar and you're thinking, oh, they must be talking about the calories for the whole bar. When you look down at calories and carbohydrates and so forth, and then it might say 2 servings. So when you look at the calories, it might say 250, but actually, if you eat that whole bar, you're getting 500. So you have to be, and beverages are that way too. Lots of times beverages will have a cup as a serving size, but when you look at the bottle, it's not all that big, and it will say like 200 or 300 calories, and you're thinking you're getting it through that whole bottle, and really you're getting 2 servings at 300 calories. The percentages are basically based, when you look at vitamins and minerals, are based on a 2,000 calorie diet. And so when you have a product, like if you look at like a granola bar and it says a certain percentage, you're getting like maybe 5%, you're getting 5% maybe of those calories for a 2,000 calorie diet. That's what the percentages are. I think people look at those and they don't know what all those mean. So the biggest thing is look at the serving size, the calories, and then what you're looking for. You're looking for protein, carbohydrates, sodium, very important. A lot of people look at that, and then look what it is and look at the serving size, and that will tell you.
Do you recommend that people kind of keep track of what they're eating throughout the day as a way to
watch their calories and sodium and so forth? Yes, a lot of people use food diaries. They'll if they're really watching their weight, they'll write down everything and come back to me and they'll say, this is what I have written down. And I think it makes you more aware of what you're putting in. You can be a grazer. Grazers can have a real problem. I don't eat all day, but then they find out that they really do, but they don't eat a meal. They just graze. They just eat, never stop. And grazing can be really a problem. So if you write down everything that you're grazing on and add it all up, it makes a big difference.
There are some foods that we've been sort of programmed to avoid because we think they're bad.
Right.
Eggs, for example.
Yes.
Alcohol.
Yes.
Chocolate.
Yes.
But you say all things in moderation.
Absolutely. In moderation, nobody likes to hear that. That's not fun. And so really you don't want to hear moderation, but it's true that with coffee, for example, and eggs, well, coffee I'll bring up because a lot of people think that they cannot drink coffee. And actually, coffee has phytochemicals in them, they have antioxidants, and really at this point they've done a lot of studies and there's nothing wrong with coffee. Actually, they've even found that coffee helps prevent some diseases, some types of cancers, Parkinson's, they're looking into diabetes. So coffee is okay. Now if you have GERD, esophageal reflux disease, then you have to moderate on your coffee, regular or decaffeinated coffee because it can bother you.
But eggs?
And eggs. Always just limit your eggs to 1 or 2 per week because of the high cholesterol intake. Now with research, they're saying saturated fat is the culprit. So now, and then eggs actually are very low in saturated fat. They're high in antioxidants, they have protein, a lot of nutrients. So really, they're not a bad food. It's the saturated fat that's really the problem. So you can go ahead and eat your eggs, not feel so bad.
So you're making us all feel better
yes.
about the choices that we're making. All right, thank you, Nancy,
You're
so
very
much.
welcome.
We're back in just a moment.